In 1.13, a brand new item was added to the game, and we've used it in the way it wasn't intended to be used for. The debug stick was added by developers to find bugs and issues within the game, but we've used it for other purposes. For example, building. Over here I have a bunch of designs that use commands and the debug stick together to make loads of different designs and features that you wouldn't normally be able to add. Now, of course, you will need access to commands if you want to use this. These are loads of designs you can use, and we're going to start with the first one. And this is a better flower bed design. Now, at first glance, it looks pretty normal. There are some peonies and alliums, but straight away you notice, okay, there are some one block tall peonies. They have different appearances. This one's more like a bush. This one's a little shorter. There are alliums on top of bushes that you wouldn't usually be able to place them on. And there are 3 block tall peonies. Now, this is a feature you can use with the debug stick and the set block command. But first, we need a debug stick. Now, I usually keep it in my save toolbar, so I can just grab it like this. But if you don't have that, you can do /give @s or your username or whoever you want to give it to, and then Minecraft debug stick, and you get the debug stick. Now, the way you use this is really simple. You find a block that can have multiple different states. I'm going to use the furnace because it has 2 different states I can use, and you do 2 things. Firstly, you left click on the block to change what you want to change about the block. As you can see, it says selected lit or selected facing. I'm going to begin with facing. Now, for a furnace, since you right click, it opens the GUI, so you have to shift click and right click. So now facing has changed. It now faces a different direction. You do it again, it faces another direction. You do it again, it faces another, and we've brought it back to here. Now left click to cycle through the different states, and right click, and now it's lit. Left click, it's moved, and it's still lit. You can change loads of things about it, and it's a very handy block. Now, since I've already used the peonies, I'm going to use the rose bush instead for this example. But what I'd recommend doing first is placing down all the blocks you want below the ground, like so, and placing in the blocks that you don't want to change, like the bushes, because sometimes if you cause a block update, it will break the blocks. Now, to begin with, we're just going to plant some normal flowers because we do want some variation. As you can see here, we've got some 2 block tall ones and some 3 block tall ones. Now, I want a 3 block tall one here, so what I'm going to do is place a grass block above it and type /set block. Remember, look at the grass block, otherwise you'll get the wrong coordinates. Then tab to get the coordinates, and then type in rosebush. As you can see, it only places 1 block. It's a bit bugged out, but that's how it works. And then just change the half. So you can right click it and you can change it to upper or lower. And we want it on upper, and we want this middle one here to be lower. As you can see now, it looks like it's 3 blocks tall. We can also use the set block command like so, just to get some poppies on the rose bushes, on the bushes. And as you can see, we've just got a few designs on top of the bushes themselves, which you usually wouldn't be able to place upon. As you can see, I'm right clicking and it doesn't place upon it. You can also have 1 block tall rose bushes just by doing the set block command, rose bush, and then changing it like so. And as you can see, we've got a very different flower bed, and it's using completely vanilla things as well. It's a very handy tool to have. But also, as you can see, the moment I do this, it will break because it's not technically allowed in the game, and it will break it as soon as it gets a block update and realizes, hang on, that shouldn't be there. Now, the second design involves beds and walls. Now, the first one is just a simple bench, and as you can see, it just uses a brown bed. But where's the pillow? Well, you can get rid of the annoying white pillow at the end of a bed just by right clicking to change the direction, and then left clicking to change the part into the foot. And there, as you can see, we've got a bench. Now, surprisingly, the only thing that I've found triggers this to break is by sleeping in it. You can still place blocks on it or around it perfectly fine. So there's a nice simple bench design. As well as this, on top of the trees we actually have some grass blocks, and you can also see they're at different heights as well. Now the way you do this is very simple. You do the set block command again, but this time you change it to grass. And I find that grass looks really nice on top of leaves. You can also change it to tall grass and use the debug stick to change its state. As you can see, we have different types of grass here and there, purely by using the debug stick. It's very slight, but it does add a lot to your world. The second design is actually a grave. Now this uses the light grey bed and the andesite wall. So first, with the andesite wall, you have to make sure you get the right direction. So south and north, and there. It's very simple. We've got a very simple gravestone shape, which wouldn't usually be possible in vanilla Minecraft. We then place the light grey bed, change the face and the part to the foot, and it's almost like a grave itself. You can also use the brown one if you want it to look similar to a coffin. But yeah, it's a very nice design using the debug stick. Moving on, we are using glass panes and stairs for this. So we've got a nice television design and a sofa. Now, usually you would not be able to make a sofa like that with the arm. The best you can do is a 3x3 one. But if you get the debug stick and change the shape of it, you can make it a 1x2 sofa. Now the television design is also very simple. Firstly, we're going to make a very simple, quick wall, like so. And we are going to put a little desk. This is optional. And then behind the wall, we're going to place some black concrete. Now, we're going to place some stained glass panes. And already we find that it is a nice television design, but there are a few problems. Firstly, it doesn't reach the end, so you can stand here inside the television for some reason. It's a bit weird, but it also connects to the back wall. Now this is very simple. If you take a look, we're facing east, so it's connected to the east part. So you want to find selected east and make it false. And do that for all of them. Now you can see it doesn't actually connect to the black concrete. Now this direction is south, as you can see in the F3 screen. So we want to find selected south, true. And it's connected to a southern block, even though there's actually no block there, but it makes it just large enough so that it actually covers the whole screen. And we have to do the same with this, but instead we're going to do north. And there, it's very, very slight. It still looks absolutely fine with the glass panes. It just makes it look a tiny bit better when you use the debug stick. Moving on, we've got a brand new block. Or at least it looks like a brand new block. It's actually just a piston. But using the debug stick and some redstone, we can make this two separate blocks. To make this design here, we need to start off with a wall. We place the wall along here like so, and then we place our pistons where we want the dip to go. Now we need to find a way to power these pistons, and you can actually power them through a block. So you get a lever, place it underneath the block below the piston and cover it up, and the pistons are activated. It doesn't look like they are though, but they are. Now you can find facing and right click this, and now you can break this separately without breaking the rest of the piston, and now you have another block. Now be careful, don't cause any block updates and do not cause the redstone to break, otherwise it will just cause the piston to retract as normal. But now you can see we have a very simple design, and if you do that, it just turns back to a normal piston. And you can do the same in the ground, and it uses exactly the same design. You just activate the piston, rotate the head and get rid of it, and this actually looks like the ideal position for a portcullis to enter. If you place that, you can see this is the perfect shape for a fence to fit in. Of course it can't actually fit in, but it does look like it could. And you can also change the shape of fences as well. As you can see over here, they're actually not connected, even though they're right next to each other. All you have to do for this is find which face they're connected with. So this is facing north, so this is connected with the northern part, so we find selected north and make it false. And we do the same with south as well. And there, they're all separate blocks. You don't have to use separate fences, and you can actually walk through it. And you can also make it so it looks like there are gaps in the fence, like so, just by getting rid of random different bits in the fence, like so. It just looks like it's slightly broken, but of course this isn't vital, and for the most part, fences aren't actually triggered by block updates, so you can keep them like this for as long as you like. And finally we have a table design, but there's no piston below, because normally to make a table I would just do this and place the stairs around it. But there's actually a way to get rid of the base. What you have to do is move the head, and then you're able to break the base. And you can actually break the redstone at this point. Oh wow, I didn't actually know you could do that. You can then place the chairs around it, and it will not cause the piston head to break. And look, there is no piston down here. Another thing you can do with the debug stick is change the way walls work. As you can see, we've got a nice battlement shape here. However, not all of the walls are connected. As well as this, we have a nice little slit in the wall for any archers to shoot through. Now this is very simple to do. You just make a wall like so, and place your wall in. You then find which ways it's connected to the block, south and north. So you just have to find south and north and make it false. And then it's not actually connected to the blocks, and you can see through it perfectly. In fact, I wonder if you can shoot through it with a bow. You can, look. Because the hitbox, it doesn't actually go through here, just even though it's technically connected. And to make the little battlements, it's very simple as well. You find south and get rid of them. Make sure all of these are up as well. And then find north and south, and on every other one, either keep them or get rid of them. For example, this one does have its northern and southern connections, but this one does not. And as you can see, it's just a nice little shape going along, but they're not actually connected. It's a very slight gap, and you can actually shoot through these two. Okay, this is a bit weird. There's actually no arrow in my bow. That doesn't really make sense. Yet it's still fine, and now it's fine. Okay, that's a bit weird. Now, this path looks pretty normal, doesn't it? There's some andesite, some cobblestone, some gravel, just normal things in it. There's also some pressure plates, but they're not making the annoying clicky sound when I walk over them. And there are also buttons which I can't press. And what's this block? This isn't concrete powder, because that's concrete powder next to it. What's going on here? Well, there are actually two things. This is actually grass, and these are pressure plates, but you can't actually press them down, unlike this button here. First thing you do to make grass white is just right click it, and it's actually snowy. So if you didn't know, if you place snow on a snow layer on top of a grass block, it will make it a snowy block. But did you know the developers are too lazy to change the top of the block to white? They just keep it grey, which means you can make it snowy using the debug stick without putting snow on top. As you can see, there's white around the edges to show that it does have snow on top. There is no snow on top, so you can just see the grey layer on top. And then with this you can just change it around, and it's grey now. You have grey grass. And with the pressure plates you can just change it to powered false or powered true. This presses it up and down, and it's permanent, so you can just step on it and it doesn't make the annoying clicky noise. It doesn't go up and down. So if you don't want people to hear the clicky noises when you walk along a path, but you still want slight height variation, just add debugged pressure plates. And the same with stone buttons. Next up, this looks like a normal treehouse, doesn't it? Well, obviously you're wrong, because there are floating ladders. You can't climb them on this side, but you can climb them on this side. And this is very simple to do. There are also rose bushes that look like apples in the trees. Now, to make the ladders like this, all you need to do is place the ladders on a block and then make it so they're not actually attached to the block, like so. You can then break the block and rotate it back into its normal position. You can actually make it so you have double 3D ladders if you really want. You can place them on top of each other for some reason. It's really odd, but it is entirely possible. Don't ask, it is a bit weird. And the rosebush design is exactly the same as the grass. All you need to do is look at the block you want to replace, then do /set block, tab tab tab, rosebush, and there it looks like apples and you can change whichever way you want. Next up we have a fence made of spruce trapdoors. But wait, this one opens left to right. Yeah, it's a bit odd. This is actually a door because it's lighter than the other blocks. If you didn't know, and it is kind of annoying, the spruce door is lighter than the spruce trapdoor. But that's beside the point. What you can do is change the bottom half of any door and change the half to upper so that it's actually the same part as the top. But then you can break the top and you've just got half a door here that you can go through as normal. And then you can place trapdoors around it, and all it does is acts as a normal trapdoor that opens vertically instead. And finally we have one more design, and this involves furnaces. As you can see, this is the blast furnace and it seems to be smelting something. When we right click it, there is nothing inside it. So what could be going on here? Well, if we get blast furnace and select it lit true, it's now cooking something without actually having anything inside it. You can do the same with smokers and also normal furnaces. And as you can see here, I've made a little demon or devil or something using furnaces as eyes. It looks odd, but it's actually quite a cool design. I quite like it. And you can also make little chimneys using walls just sticking out like so. You can change this, so you can change east to false or east to true. And they are just little sticky outy things just to add a little more depth. And that is it. Those are all of the designs you can make with the debug stick. Of course, there are so many other blocks you can change with the debug stick. You can do the ladder thing with rails. You can do the pressure plate thing with other pressure plates. You can do all sorts. You can do sticky pistons, you can do notes blocks, you can do dispensers, you can do all sorts. But these are my favourites that I found you could do. So yeah, let me know down below if you have any other designs that you think should belong here. Any cool debug tricks you can work with the debug stick and possibly the /set block command. But yeah, let me know down below what you want to see next. And also, what else do you want to see on building tips and tricks in the future? Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.